Yeah, I mean, I like to think of myself as an honest guy. Like, there's one rule. I'm almost too truthful. Like, my girlfriend's sitting off camera, and she would agree that I almost say the truth too much, because that's just the rules I live by. So I would much rather just know the body count and make a decision from there. I have certain standards I'd set myself.
That is none of your business, though.
But you know, it does matter. It does matter, though.
Why are you guys
matter.
your
business?
It is most certainly his business. It is
What the
certainly
hell?
his
It
business.
is not.
Because
It is,
Yes, it is.
It is, because it shows to me like a sense of self-value. I think especially from a female, like from a male perspective, like when you meet a girl, it shows to me a sense of self-value, because I think everyone could agree here that most guys can sleep with someone and it could mean nothing. Whereas with girls, not every time, okay, there's exceptions to the rule, but I think a lot of times it takes a lot to get into that place. And what are you getting from it?
I'm not gonna.
So why are you
comment.
shaking your head?
I know girls that sleep with guys just because they want to have sex.
Maybe
want
they
to
drink.
Yeah.
The same, like,
Or at
if a
least
guy can
come.
do it, let me do it. They're at that point where I'm a hoe, I've done it. Let
Yeah,
me just
but
continue.
men and women are different.
And I understand
and
that.
so women have a certain level of requirements to sleep
I
with a
get
man.
because some people say, "Oh, women have sex," and because it takes a lot more for women to have sex. But I've literally seen girls that will sleep with men and feel no type
Yeah,
of way.
but they don't start like that
They
typically.
do.
They don't not
care.
typically.
They-
They're not typically. They don't
They're
typically.
girls that are
They don't
savages.
typically start. They become that. But when they're 15, 16, 17, 18, whenever they lose their virginity, they're not born a savage, they're made.
They were,
because they've just
yeah.
been and that's why men don't want girls that are ran through, because you can't connect as much the more people you slept with.
But I grew up seeing girls sleeping around. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
I
I
think
grew
that's
up
a
in
good-
that community.
But
That's
where
why I
does
can
that
speak
stem
on
from,
it.
though?
And growing up, I saw a lot of girls, and it was kind of like you had girls who were known for giving head. You had this girl known for this. Like in different areas, there's a bunch of hoes. Like a lot.
Who are
So over
servicing the
time,
community,
things have
yeah.
changed. Like society has actually changed.
But,
a lot.
are they happy
why
with
isn't it a man's business to know your past? Because your past dictates your future.
Okay,
if you have habits, your habits are who you are. So
Yeah.
if you spent 5 years sleeping around, let's just say, then how is he to know that you won't do that again when you turn 32? Like because you have that past. Like I'll give you an example. I used to drink, okay? In college I drank and I decided to stop drinking. I don't drink anymore. And the thing is there's always a part of me that's going to want to drink because I did it. I started it. I used to really like it. And so it's like if you used to be a hoe, there's a part of you that's going to want to go back no matter how much you suppress it.
Okay, could
because you
say
used to
that
do it. Go
about
ahead.
a guy then as well.
A guy, yeah, I think your habits, like if a guy's sleeping with everybody, is
So
it going to
it's
be hard for him to
it's
stop?
just
Yes,
about-
but the thing is, men and women are different. We value different things. Girls don't care as much if they get cheated on as women do. They
We
don't.
do.
I'm sorry, it's not the same because then we wouldn't pick the guys that cheat. Like I'm sorry, we go for the guys. We go 100% of women want 20% of men. So if we're picking the guys that are going to cheat, there's 1 out of 3 men that are virgins. So go pick them if you want to be a guy that's faithful.
But it's
You
like-
are what you do.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
But
You
if
are
someone is
what you
But the
do.
thing is, though, to be honest, I've never heard, well, from friends and stuff, and our culture in UK is different. People don't really have a culture. That a guy would even leave you based on how many people you've slept with. Do they really care? No,
Our age, they do.
they don't.
Our age, they
This is
care a
topic.
lot.
Oh, sorry.
They do care. And one thing I noticed, you see with this whole body count thing, yeah, girls lie. They
Of
literally
course.
chop
That's
their
none of
body
your
count in
business
half.
anyway.
So you may
Like, what
ask
you
a
have, it's none
girl,
of your
what is your
business.
body
The
count? They may lie.
What's your body count? What's your bank account statement then?
The thing is, though, there
You'll
was that.
never get an honest answer. I know girls that have lied.
There was
will
that.
lie.
There was
to
that.
answer that, I go to the extremes, right? I'll take a polygraph test. You take a polygraph test. Let's go. That's how committed I am. Like that is the place I would
Okay,
go
then
to.
what happens when the
This
body
boy
count is
FBI.
high?
Did you take a polygraph test? No.
Are you police?
We can. I'll take one. You can ask me anything.
Okay.
I am fully committed.
What
to
happens when you hear something you do not like? What happens? And you're already in love with this girl, like you know you want to
me-
marry her. Like,
for me,
will that be the determining thing?
No.
And you know that it was her
That?
past.
No. I see what you're saying. I see what
Yeah.
you're saying. For what I was saying is when you're in that first interaction.
Yeah.
It depends on the damage, right? It does depend on the damage. Like if it's so much worse, then it's so much worse. But I believe in truth, like, and it may be an optimistic, idealistic view of the world, but I think you should be willing to put all your cards on the table.
And I think the truth comes out eventually. Maybe not
Yeah.
today. Maybe not today. Maybe not tomorrow. But like, if you've been sleeping around town, he's gonna run into someone you slept with.
Exactly.
So like, you're right. Women, I do see hoes get wifed all the time. I do see it, and a lot of times the men don't know, but the truth comes out, or they leave because they're too damaged.
But there's some who have been true. So, okay, let me just say this now. There's no win-win then for her. It's either you tell the truth, you, like, the guy will leave you. And then you try going the straight and narrow. You've been literally celibate, let's say 5 years. And that's not your lifestyle
It could
anymore.
also be. It could be
You
to
won't get
lower.
wifed.
It could be to lower your standards and think, I'm not a virgin, so maybe I could date outside of the church, and he doesn't have to be equally yoked. Because how yoked am I if I'm not a virgin anymore?
Yeah, that's what I
But
said.
a lot
like,
of women
you
do
are
anyway.
allowed.
A
You're
lot
allowed
of
to
women
date
do.
outside.
They do what? Go ahead.
They date outside of the church. And they're going out with, should I say, ghetto guys. They're going out with guys who are proper hardcore, you know what I mean? Don't believe in no church. They believe in Saturday night, I'm going out raving. That's what they believe in.
So they'll be in the church and dating the guy.
yeah.
But he's not a husband, right? It's just the way you told the story. That's the way what I inferred.
No. He wouldn't be husband material.
Okay.
But then again, they might want him to be husband material. He might be really good in bed. And, good in bed might qualify him to be, he might be able to do, to make me happy.
I've just found that a lot of the women in the church have too high of standards because they aren't what men value anymore. And so I've just found a lot of like 27, 28, 29 to 35-year-olds that aren't virgins requiring a man that's equally yoked. And I think that's a tough ask. And I think if we want to build families, like that's going to be tough. That's going to be hard.
So people can't change then. People can change.
They just
People
have to
can
lower their
change.
standards. That's all. As long as they lower their standards, I think that's fine.
I think it also
Women
depends on what else you
women
bring to
can
the
do that
table.
very well, lowering the standard.
I
Not
think
trying to be rude.
I think if that was true, then 50% of women that hit 30 wouldn't be single and childless. Because one out of 3 men are virgins. The men are there that want to commit. So women on dating apps, they only swipe right 5% of the time. So that's telling me that we don't, in fact, lower our standards.
I think on the body count thing, and to your point, right, I think you have to be realistic. You have to know where you're at. And I think if you come in with a realistic view and open conversation, you at least increases the chance of speaking truth, right?
But that's
I'm not
not
saying
your
it.
business, though. That, to me, is so
As many of you know, I was just banned on TikTok, and we are demonetized on a daily basis on this platform. If you want to help, please consider sending a super thanks below. Every donation helps, and it helps make what we do possible.